Welcome to Reflections, the podcast that biblically encourages, equips, and empowers women for apostolic life and service. Here's your host, Dr. Cindy Miller.
Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm so glad you're joining us today. I'm back with Ginger Labat. We're going to be talking about real women, real lives. We're dealing with the topic of interest is stress, anxiety, fear, all those real emotions that women feel. And we're in December, and this busy season. Not only is it the holidays, but it's end of the year, it's starting of a new year, and just feels like everything is just compressed all at once into this big expectation that we need to really be doing something. So I'm going to read this quote. It's from The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and it was just as a reminder to get us started. The solution to an overbusy life is not more time. It's to slow down and simplify our lives around what really matters. And that is why my precious friend, our guest, Ginger Labat, is here. And if you listened to the last podcast, you heard me introduce her as wife of Brian, mom to Brielle and Ashlyn, my native Texan friend, that common bond we have, and pastor's wife, and adult Bible teacher at Calvary Church in the Chicago metro area. She's working on 2 books. Hopefully, since we were last together, she's made tremendous progress. And she co-hosts the Moral Support podcast, speaks around the world, and we just love and appreciate her so much. So last time you were with us, you shared your very real story of struggling with anxiety, the spiritual battle that was attached to it, resulting in some real life physical conditions and other things. Thank you for coming back. And we're going to kind of get into a different part of it, the practical help side of it. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. Thank you.
Be back. It's great to be
Yeah.
back. This is fun.
It is fun, and we have a lot more fun because we have a lot of pieces that we're chatting about, and then we say, "Oh, we should have recorded that. That was just so great. We should have recorded that." And then we hit the record button, and we try to, be as good as we can for all of you, our very dear listeners, and I'm so glad you're with us today. So last time, Ginger, you shared about the spiritual battle that you were in. You talked about some very real things that the Lord led you through as for helps, living word that was speaking into your life. You reminded all of us that the first thing was to know that it was rooted in a spiritual battle. I appreciated that so much, knowing the root. Not giving up, not quitting. And then you talked about not focusing on everything that was wrong, but focusing on the light. I appreciated that. What are some other things that maybe we're going to lead into today talking about practical helps, but in the middle of all the other things that you were implementing and doing the right way, what are some things that you were also trying to do because your health had been impacted? How are you working towards reclaiming your health as well as dealing with this spiritual battle?
Well, first of all, I love talking about practical things because I'm a very practical person. I'm not one of those people that is just everything is just so overly spiritual.
True.
I believe that things are spiritual. That's not my point. But, I don't always just blame the devil because I stubbed my toe, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I believe that living for God is practical, that it applies. I know it was written in a book, thousands of years ago, but it applies right now where we are, trying to buy all the perfect gifts for everybody, trying to put on the Hallmark face for Christmas. And, all the family's going to come together. Everything's going to be perfect. Pinterest perfect.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would just be fiction.
It would. A great fiction book.
So I love the practical. I remember being a young person and or a young pastor's wife, young minister's wife, going to these conferences, and you would just walk out thinking, man, I can just storm hell with a water pistol, as they used to say. And, we could do this. And then I would get out and it was like, oh, nobody told me how. So I'm all about the steps of the how to. Let's break it down into the practical side of things. So I love that this is my passion. I love this. Because if I always say, if you have a recipe, if you can follow directions, you can cook anything,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the way my brain thinks. So what was I doing? Of course, you've got to have a daily walk with the Lord. I
Right.
would venture to say that that is an area where that was established for me. Um, because I couldn't live without it. I couldn't go a day without it because it was so gripping for me. It's one of those things that you kind of live, and then all of a sudden, like, I can't live without it. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was established for me. But as far as my physical health, something that I had gone to doctors, I talked about that. They couldn't find anything. So then you start trying to make sure you're doing the right things. I'm an avid eat the right things. I also eat the wrong things, especially in the holidays.
I'm an avid, let's eat the wrong thing. It's the holidays.
My favorite things are the wrong things.
Yeah.
What is it? Somebody what said sugar is my drug of choice. That's the one that just I love, but I have two stomachs. I love the sugar, and then let's go with some salt.
Mhm.
Let's go back and forth. But making sure that I am getting adequate exercise, that I'm a believer in those things. That making sure that the other, because all of the parts are intertwined. We are truly fearfully and wonderfully made. And if one area gets off, if it's off long enough, it's going to start to affect the other areas of our life. Now, I didn't study that. I just lived it and discovered it for myself. But I realized, spirit's off. Now my body has gotten weak. My mind has gotten, unhealthy, those kinds of things. So definitely, surrounding myself even with worship music, because it lifts. And the
Mhm.
thing is, when you get the spirit lifted, you do feel different. It does begin to affect um, your your physical being, and then the mental health gets lifted. So it's just trying to focus on the things that are good. I mentioned in our last podcast that uh, if you're eating a Cheeto diet and expecting nutrition, that's a very real thing. Can you have Cheetos? Absolutely, you can have Cheetos. You can have all Cheetos and expect to be healthy. At least not for an extended amount.
Well, if you come in, with a prayer request, I need the Lord to heal me, and he's like, "Well, I need you to start eating better too." I think he has a few expectations for us as well.
Exactly. So, I mean, we all know the right things to do, truly, for the most part, or we have them at our fingertips because our resources are truly just so easily. You can find resources anywhere. You can go to Chat GPT and have them outline a balanced diet, all the way down to your macros and your everything that you need. So it's not about knowing what you need to do. It's about the painful part of doing what you.
Well, it is. It's horrible. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hold each other accountable, right? So listeners, viewers, the two of us, we're like, okay, it's not lack of information, right? It's lack of application of the information we already know.
There it is.
But I have this really great tool. I want to share it with you. I got to find it in this mess of papers here, but I have it. You'd think I have it memorized by now. So I have this assessment, and I personally do this assessment every few months, and it's just helps. It covers the 5 domains of mental wellness. So we're not talking about mental illness; those are other ways of being diagnosed. But this is just like, how am I doing with the information that I already know? And something that you mentioned in the last episode, I can do really good in one area, but then I'm not doing great in another area. And so if I have this in front of me to look at, then I can say, oh yeah, I have consistently, every time I've taken this year, scored really low in this area. But let me just give you an overview of what it is. All right. And I'll put it in the notes section so everybody can have access to it. But it's just an assessment, and it covers the physical self care, the psychological and emotional self care. It covers social, spiritual, and your work and ministry. So, what are you doing in these 5 domains? Because they have great influence over your happiness, your peace, your joy, your sanity, how well your marriage is going, all that kind of thing. If you're married, if you're single, how well you're handling being single. So let's just dive in. We know that we need to take good care of our health, because without good physical health, it's just a downward spiral of our thoughts and process. So I'm going to list a few things here. Okay. Ginger, you're on the spot now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're on the spot. So you can go 1, 2, or 3. I do this poorly or I do it rarely as a 1. I do this okay. I do this sometimes. That would be a 2. I do this well or I do this often. That would be a 3. Or you can say pass. Okay. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Eat healthy foods.
I'd like to phone a friend.
Take care of personal hygiene.
Oh, I'm a 3 on that one. I'm a 3. I'm a 3.
Okay. Whew, thank the Lord. Exercise.
I would say right now, I'm a 2.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to that because I'm a new convert in one area. Wear clothes that help me feel good about myself.
I would say, ooh, that's one of those that, you know what I blitzed on? What made me think is that something I know helps me,
Mm.
but I'm not sure I always, sometimes you just don't wanna, even though you know it'll help you.
Well, I just wear one thing on a regular. I mean, if you look at pictures of me traveling, like, "Oh, there she is," you won't even know what year it is, because it's like I just wear the same thing over and over, and that makes me feel really happy. It's like
That's
a
that's what
simplicity
matters.
issue.
I always say that about conference photos. You don't know what year it was, you don't know what state it was, you don't know.
No, no, I just keep life really simple. Okay, do you get enough sleep?
Oh, 2.
2. Alright, well, we'll come back to that. Do you go to preventive medical appointments, like checkups and, like, teeth cleaning and all that kind of stuff?
2.
Do you rest when you're sick?
Oh, man, that one's painful.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. We have us here a domain that needs a little bit of love and attention.
Even admitting that I'm sick. If I ever say I'm in bed in the middle of the day, you better send somebody after me because
Okay. All right. Well, text me and I'll do my best. I'm in the bed in the middle of the day and I'll be like, call 911 right now. Get to her house right now. All right. So I want to talk about this physical self-care. So I regularly score in the needs improvement
but I mean, there's so much other stuff to do.
in most areas, like, okay, I mean, I think we're all pretty much mastered that, we do get our shower and brush our teeth. Thank the Lord. But if you ever notice you're not, um, that really is an indicator maybe there's some depression going on.
True.
So we do want to pay attention to that, even though we're kind of laughing about it. Uh, so I'm going to tell you, I hurt my ankle. I don't. Well, you probably don't know that.
I did. We talked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We talked more than. Oh yeah, I've talked to you in more than the last 5 years. Okay. Well, and it's such a story. It's such a terrible story anyway. I'm horrified by it. But 5 years of living, with this ankle injury, this boot, then I broke it, and then this, blah, 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 this downward spiral. So they try all the regular therapy, rehab. Nothing's really helping. I feel myself just this past year going way down. I mean, I had noticed it in May, it was really getting worse, and I'm just like, I'm having a hard time just overall getting around, not just my ankle, but it's like because when your ankle's injured, you limp, you try to baby it, you blah, blah. Lots of boring story here. But then as a family, we went to Greece to be with my daughter-in-law's family, have a little reunion, and I was just hobbling, and I'm just like, I cannot be so broken down at this age and stage of life. And so I came back and I started water therapy, a one-on-one rehab in water. I'm like a new convert. I'm like, you need water therapy. You need water therapy. They could tell me, they're like, I stubbed my toe. You need water therapy. I'm losing my hair. You need water therapy. I'm pretty sure it cures everything. So that's my thing right now, getting us going.
I love that.
Yeah. So, but you said you do exercise. You had told me that before.
I
So,
actually, I struggled with weight from the time I was a teenager. I was a very, very heavy teenager. And so when I lost the weight, I was just so determined I would never, never wanted to gain it back. And I never did gain it back to full capacity. Of course, it ebbs and flows. But even when we evangelized, I carried my sneakers with me and I would go walking wherever we were. It's hard to keep your weight off when you're and I realized that my generation was keep your weight down.
mhm,
I understand now it's more about your health. It's not
mhm.
just being thin, it's about your health. especially at 52. It's definitely about my health and how I feel. So I've always been a walker. I've in the last couple of years started adding some weights in
Oh,
because
nice.
if you're not building muscle, you're losing it at this age. I don't remember what the turnaround is, but at some point in our lives, when we're not building it, we're losing it. And I have crossed over that line. But my husband used to laugh because I would say, I'm going walking. And this is where that whole intertwining thing kind of comes in. And he would say, yeah. And he'd see me. He'd drive through the neighborhood. He'd see me. He's like, you pounding it out? I'm like, I'm pounding it out. I wasn't walking for my health, physical health. I wasn't walking to lose weight. I was out there because I knew what it did for my frustration or
Mhm.
my stress level. And so I have learned the benefit of what exercise not only does for my body, but what it does for my mind and how it just lifts that. It's a game changer. It
Absolutely.
truly has. Now, there's also the therapy side and the physical side of that. And I'm a believer because I know very clearly of when I'm doing the right things, how much stronger I feel. It's
Mhm.
amazing how much easier it is to get through a worship service
Yeah.
when I am doing the right things physically, when I'm keeping that activity up. But I'm sitting here convicting myself is what I'm doing.
Well, when we're moving, when we have those move breaks, it just bathes the brain in all the feel good chemicals. So God created this body to move, and in moving, it would heal. It heals us. So yeah, I love that getting out and walking.
Down and send that to me. That was great. In moving, he heals us.
Yes, it's true. That's what he does. So, that's that desire to get out. But I live in Jersey, and in the winter, no one wants to be outside. I mean, I have seen through my living room window, there's some neighbors I'm seriously worried about that they still walk through snow and ice, but
They
I'm
could be
concerned
aliens.
about them.
They're not really human.
No, 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 I'm worried about them, and I should be concerned. I'm a good neighbor. But, so here I am, I'm inside. I think, really be intentional. So if we can't all get outside and grab our sneakers and go for a walk, it doesn't mean we can't move. We can still get up and move, and we can bathe that brain in the feel good chemicals, and we can stop eating only Cheetos for dinner. I know, it's sad, and have some of those vegetables. All right, are you ready for psychological and emotional self-care?
Never.
See, I had sent this to you in advance. You could have been asking me. Good
Setup.
thing.
This is a setup.
Yeah, it's a setup. All right, let's look at this. You can pass, call friend, or not
Okay.
answer at all. Stare off in space. Take time off from work, school, or other obligations. Okay, she's staring into space.
I have to intentionally do that. I don't know what the number would be. I think it varies. Well, I guess the question is right now. That's the whole point.
Yeah, we're in it right now. It's an assessment for what you're doing now, so you would know what you need to work on in the future. I mean, like today and tomorrow, not like n not like 2027.
I it's gonna be a great year, 2027.
Gonna be wonderful when we actually get there.
I would say probably right now I'm at a 1. I'm one of those people that doesn't know how to stop. It has to be very intentional. So, but I have been at a 2 or 3.
Well, I'm proud. So you know how to do it.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
we
This is
know
a good
about
one.
what we do.
This is a good one. Do you have a hobby? Do you participate in hobbies?
My husband has a hobby.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well, so by default,
Do you have a
you watch him have a hobby?
Well, he rides a Harley, so I
Oh, you ride with him. Yeah.
I
It's
help out the back, yeah.
kinda sort of your
This
hobby.
hobby. I
Oh,
love to cook. I'll tell you what therapy it's not a hobby, but what feels therapeutic for me, if
mhm,
that's kinda where we're going, is when I have not throwing dinner on the table, like, in a crunch.
mhm,
I have time to just stand and cook,
mhm,
chop, and not everybody love but everybody has their thing. Some people like to paint or whatever. For me, that is when I'm done, I just feel it's so satisfying, so gratifying to me.
mhm.
So I wouldn't it probably could be a hobby. I don't
Good. I mean, we could put it under there. I love to cook for my family. Like,
Yes.
not the day to day because my kids are grown and married and have their own homes, so, of course, the day to day is not like, "Oh, it just feels more like, "Oh my goodness, it's that time, we gotta eat, get out the Cheetos." But, no, but when it's like, "Oh, my kids are coming over, my
Yeah.
grandkids are coming," then I wanna do something really nice for them.
So my question then, do you
Well,
have a hobby?
you know what? I think I when I have this downtime right now, that would just probably be a negative one, because I would really love to just spend time reading for no good reason whatsoever. And I think creativity is important, I'd like to do some more creative things, but I'm in a negative one on hobbies right now, so, I confess. Alright, next thing, do you get away from your distractions, like phones, email? Are you good about putting that down?
Um, I would say 2 plus, 2.5.
Oh, good,
I
good.
actually delete in fact, they're deleted right now. I delete social media completely off of my phone, um, so it's not easy access. I put it away at a certain time at night.
Yeah.
I would say I'm okay.
I have a love-hate with my phone, so most people that know me, they know I really love my phone when I want it. And when other people want me to be on my phone, I seem to not be able to find it. It's like, "Where is that? I don't know." I have to ask my husband, "Call me, I gotta find it. I don't know where I left it." Yes. So here's our word for the day to our listeners. Just get off your phone. Just get off.
Please, yes. Especially in the holidays, be present.
No, be
The
present.
amount
Everybody should put their phones up.
agreed. One of my problem is I'm terrible our cameras are on our phones now.
Mm.
Walk away from holiday, event, you name it, no pictures because I'm in the moment and I hopefully somebody else captures something because
Well, there's always that one or two that can't live without their phone, so we're really depending on them.
show up, show
Since
up.
since you're not going to put your phone away, go ahead and take all the pictures that I need. Alright. So are you a learner? Are you a lifelong learner? Are you learning new things that's unrelated to just the work that you do? What are you enjoying learning right now?
Unrelated.
Mhm, unrelated.
You had to throw that word in there.
I did.
Um,
Stump
lifelong
yes.
learn yes, unrelated. Ah, I am a comfort creature, and that's terrible to admit. I love routine
Mm.
and lists, and I'm so boring. I
Oh, I love boring. So you would say that you're a 1 right now or negative 1 or
yeah, if it's unrelated, yeah,
mhm, unrelated. It is unrelated.
yeah, then
Yeah,
it
I'm probably a negative 1 on that one right now. I just have so much reading to stay up with my students right now.
I'm in good company then. If you're a negative one, I'm a negative one.
Yeah, we can be honest about it. Do you express your feelings in a healthy way? Are you, like, talking them out, journaling or doing something to express your feelings in a healthy way?
I'm glad I get to answer this and not my husband. Glad this is not marriage counseling. Yeah, I would say I'm somewhere between a 2 and a 3.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I don't have any problem. I think the key here for all of our listeners is healthy, healthy, healthy. We don't wanna just be venting. We wanna express it, whether it's in prayer or, a prayer of lament if it's not good or just saying, "I feel, I think," and remembering because I feel it doesn't mean it's true, because I think it doesn't mean it's true, but if I can express it, then at least I can either deal with it, repent over it, recognize it as the lie that it is.
I always tell people, if emotions are not a sin, even I mean, go read the book of Psalms.
Mhm.
Then there's always the alignment, he aligns himself. I mean, talk about emotions. That was the most emotional man ever.
Now, he
He
was upfront about it.
but he always brought it back to, the Lord, and
Yeah.
so there's
So
nothing wrong.
here's all of my sorrow, here's all my frustration, here's all my anger,
There's
but
all my knees.
yeah. But then I remember the Lord. Then
Went into the sanctuary.
yeah, I turn my face back to it. Are you good at recognizing your own strengths and achievements?
Um, to
Okay. And that's so good. I think, if you say if I'm doing this like in a class and I say, "Okay, what do you not like about yourself? What do you need to work on? I mean, people get 30 seconds, they will have 2 pages, and then they go, okay, same 30 seconds, write down everything that you really admire about yourself, feel good about. And they're like, oh, just thinking, trying to come up with a few. But it's okay. It's not vanity to say there's good in my life. The Lord's blessed me. I've had some achievements. All right, you ready for the next one?
I was making a mental note not to take that class.
Oh, I already signed you up. Go on vacations or day trips.
Okay, so my husband's so good for me for this because again, I'm a routine
Mm.
and he's a spontaneity guy. I mean, he's like, let's go, let's take the Harley out, when the weather permits, that kind of thing. And I have learned how good that is for me.
Mhm.
So um people think I love to travel because they see me traveling to conferences. They're like, oh, she loves to travel. I'm like, that's not travel. I mean, it is. It's
That's
not.
not a day off.
That's
No,
not. Yeah, that's a working trip.
that's a work trip.
Say I'm good at it because he puts that into our lives and I know the benefit and do that. So, yeah.
Okay, so
And
you get a 3 because of him.
I mean, there is that whole marriage
Well, it's a oneness. It's oneness. We are oneness people.
cheating. I'm not cheating it.
No, I'm with you. I gave you a 3. All right. So this is like really important in this domain of psychological and emotional self care. We talked about expressing feelings. What are healthy ways you talk about your problems? I think in the last episode you covered that well too. Like you have to focus on not what the problem is, but you have to focus on where you're going and who you're becoming. But any thoughts about talking about problems?
100% because I'm a big proponent of this. Um, Let me start from the opposite aspect. It's not in a internet chat. It's not on Facebook. That's
Mhm.
not where you go to. This is a safe place. If it's on the internet, it's not a safe place.
Right.
Period. Exclamation point. A million red exclamation points. So whenever I see that I don't care if it's a group full of apostolic women. I mean, certain things can be presented, but I'm talking about your actual places in your heart. So I'm always I look at that and I say, what you need is a good friend.
Mhm.
You need a good friend. And so talking about problems, and I'm not talking about the friend that will only commiserate with me, but it's the one that will say, I hear you. That's tough. We stay in here long? How long we gonna, or walk me through it, or, validate me and then get me through it. But my husband happens to be one that is very open to hearing me out. He has counselor ways. I don't know how to explain that. He's just very patient. He listens, he hears, sometimes too well. I mean, but he wants to hear me out. He wants to know, and he will even come to me. Are you okay? Is there something you need to talk about? So I think having someone in your life and I believe God positions you in those places to have those people, um, or to know who those people are in your life, but knowing who you can go to and talk, or getting a counselor, finding a therapist, those kinds of things. But I think it has to be done. Now, first and foremost, it's always with the Lord, 100%. And what people need to know is you can go to him in any way. We just said that with all your emotions, but I have gone to him completely ticked off and angry and
Mhm.
can't pull out of it. And I've laid across the floor and I've just gone down that path. This is where I am. So I'm going to tell you all about it.
Mhm.
Before I'm done, or maybe when I take a breath and he can insert something, there's something that helps me out of it. So,
Oh, because he is talking to us. He's not ignoring us. I
love
know that I'm kinda going through this, situation in life right now, and so many times over the past month, I would wake in the middle of the night and I would just say, "Oh, Father, you know how much I hate this. I hate this," or during the day, I'm grieving. I mean, just out of the blue, no context to it, because he knows, and I'll just be like, "I hate this," but I know he knows what I'm talking about. But being able expressing our feelings and our thoughts, but to
yeah,
do that with the Lord, with your best friend, if you have one, but if you don't have a best friend that's not just a really good listener and also knows how to ask good questions and help you reframe and rethink about this, if you don't have that, then yes, you need to get a counselor.
100%.
Because we all need someone who helps us think more biblically about something, especially if we're stuck. All right, Ginger, do you find reasons to laugh? You laugh pretty easy.
I do.
Yeah, yeah. I love to laugh. I'm going to find the funny in something.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully it's not at a funeral. Something about being at a funeral makes I am my most hilarious at a funeral. I don't know what that is. Like I'm at my wittiest. Something turns on in me. I think I'm just so nervous or something. I don't know. So yeah, but
I will actually
fun
seek
energy.
things to, if I need that in, I feel like it just releases something. It just does something for
Mhm.
me. And I can find the humor in, well, and I'm kind of like you. You don't always want to sit beside me. And most of my friends are the exact same way.
Yeah.
So we're trouble. My small group, I have a very close knit group of girlfriends. And when we sit beside each other, it's like, don't talk. Don't
Don't even look at me. Don't even look like you're going to do.
contact. Don't go, none of that. But I will even go, I have a few little even and I know I said I pull social media off quite often because I don't want to be I mean it changes the mind.
Yeah,
You've done a podcast
such a
about that. I
negative.
haven't. But I mean it truly changes in the addiction aspect of it. And I don't want to be addicted to anything. I don't want it to get in the way of real life. But I will pull it down. And there are a few people that I follow that they just do funny stuff.
Mhm.
And if I need that break, just a couple nights ago, I don't know that I was needing the break, but I had a space and it's just been a day. I just wanted to kind of just get out of the day. Sometimes it's just like, I need to cut off from this day.
Right.
Brian comes in and he's like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, this is what I'm laughing at. And he just kind of looks at me, he shakes his head. He knows me, but there's just a release in that. So I will seek out something that will, um, I'm an absorber, and I think not everybody is quite as much. And I'm sure there's a real technical word, but for me, it's absorber. Um, I take in what I view or what I hear very strongly.
Mhm.
So I won't allow scary things into my
No.
life. I
Yeah.
won't let fearful things into my life. Music that affects me. Of course, I'm not outside of that's not even in my realm of thinking, but I know how I'm affected. In fact, even within the worship realm, if it's one of those kind of pitiful worship songs, that's kind of an oxymoron, but you know what I'm saying. No, 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 no. I need something that's going to be like, you know,
Yes.
because I just take all of that in. Entertainment to me cannot be anything heavy or stressful. That is, it just does something to me.
Oh,
It
absolutely. And it can create little ruts in the brain to all that negativity and unhappiness. And then
absolutely.
our brains are shriveling up because of lack of that really good feel good chemical, not bathing it.
So you
Uh,
sit there and eat Cheetos and let your brain shrink.
well, I'm telling you, eat Cheetos and the brain's shrinking, but something else is increasing mightily.
True
so,
story.
so, um, what to do something comforting? What is your comforting thing? Because that's part of this.
Cheetos.
I'm bringing them. I'm bringing them with me next time I see you. I'm gonna bring you a big bag for Christmas. That's what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Comforting. I do. We talked about I comfort for me though is routine and I love productivity. But beyond that would definitely be um time with family, time with Brian where we're not I have to have cutoffs because I don't stop working too well. So he doesn't. He can play well, rest well. He just does wherever he's at and whatever's going. He can prioritize the moment. And so sometimes I'm like, we need this break where we're not planning a church event. I know that you feel like it's free time, but I want us to just have this time. So comforting moments for me would be family time
Mhm.
with him. Or even, I was just texting one of my friends a few minutes ago, and I'm like, when are you coming to see me so that we
Yeah.
can spend that quality time? I don't need a lot of that. I mean, we don't have to, I don't live close to any of I think Rachel Coltharp's the closest, and she's 30 minutes away. I probably see her the least because we're just in our lives.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah. But I think those comfort things that's got to be what it is. I guess I'm struggling here because I feel like I've already said the things.
Mhm. Well, I think family for me, I love being home. So maybe because we both travel a lot. So to me, comforting is to be in my house on a Monday. And whether it's summer outside or it's winter, it doesn't even matter. I have this sweater that I love to put on. It's just like so soft and cozy. The air condition is just blasting and I'm wrapped up in my sweater, right? Doesn't make an ounce of sense. But that's just kind of like my
Yes.
signal. You are detached. You are off duty. You are just home now, you know.
Comfort to me definitely is home with nothing to do.
Yeah. Nothing to do.
I don't know what that looks like, nothing to do. I have to kinda because
Are
I can
are we like, do I need to put a -1 down here for you?
I'm a struggler when it comes to wanting everything done, and that's never gonna happen. I
Mm,
have to train my brain. My Brian is always like, "What'd you do today?" I'm like, Do you really wanna know that?
you really
Because"
want the list.
right, here it is.
Well, being able to disconnect, that's important. So that what we just talked about really covers this overall psychological and emotional domain and the care that we need. We need to be mindful, hobbies, days off, comforting things, taking, you know, turning off the work and obligations and, just definitely being part of all the good stuff. All right. Are you ready for social self-care?
Let's do it. This
Okay.
one like it's my category. I'm ready. I'll
So
take social for 1,000.
okay. All right. I'm gonna read them all at one time because
Okay,
we're having way too much fun with this. I'm gonna read them all, and then we're gonna talk about the ones that we score high in because
I like that.
I like that plan a lot better than admitting to our negative ones. All right. So in the social self-care arena, you would spend time with people you like. We talked about that. Call or write to friends and family who are far away. So keeping that network of support alive. Have stimulating conversations like ours right now. Meet new people. That's a one for me. Spend time alone. Now, this says spend time alone with a romantic partner, but we're apostolic. So that's spend time alone with my spouse. If it's not your spouse, you don't need to be alone with a romantic partner. Ask others for help when needed. I just had to throw that in there unless we get confused. Ask for help when needed. So great. Do oh, 0? Did somebody say 0?
No.
Do enjoyable activities with other people. Have intimate time with spouse. Keep in touch with old friends. And that really, this friends, family, this network of support. And we all need a network of support. So out of all the things I've listed, what is one thing? Do we want to talk about ask others for help when needed? Was that like one of our threes there?
No. No. I will say, I think I say 0 because that's my natural inclination, but I have learned to do better because I know that my natural inclination is to just because I'm a worker.
Mhm,
I my brain doesn't even think ask for help,
mhm.
but I've had to learn to do that. So, honestly, I'm excelling in this one. I may be struggling in some of the
Oh,
other
I
ones.
knew that was a 3. So you know what? It's December, and, this is when there's parties, there's decorating your home, there's,
Concerts?
God forbid we're on Pinterest and see what everybody else is doing. There's all kinds of things going on in December. So how do you restrain yourself or how do you create when you just don't have enough time?
Well, said it earlier, I'm a list maker, and
Mhm.
I live and die almost by a well, I say that. I would love to, but my life, your life doesn't either. We've talked about this. It's subject to change at any given moment. But I have a paper planner that I write and I've got
Mhm.
days. I definitely and if I always I it's kind of a brain dump for me. If I can get it on paper, then I don't have to lay awake at night and think about it. It's
Right.
I'll wake up tomorrow. I know what, it's already planned out. Series, one of my dearest friends.
Precious, precious friend.
She's gold because she sets reminders daily. I remind me to do this then, remind me to put this in my calendar, remind me to do that. And so that helps me. So priorities come in planning. And if you're not a natural planner, like I'm a natural planner, that'll be a struggle area. But I'm very much, and whatever I falter in the year before, I make sure to plan for differently. So during the holidays, from last year, we did very poor planning in having our staff Christmas party at our house,
Mm-hmm.
the worst time that it could have fallen for in the context of other events going on. And so we immediately already booked the date for this. I mean, when it was time, we did it last year.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do it here because this is when we can handle it. This can prioritize. So learning what doesn't work and planning for better. And it doesn't all have to be done. It, you gave me some of the most wise words the other day. You said, do you know where I'm going with this? You said, go well.
Oh, well, that's my theme. Wouldn't it be nice if we did that? But we didn't. Oh, well.
Well, I mean, and you know what? Most people, our family Christmas, this started when the girls were still home. Both my girls are married too. And years ago, when they were teenagers, we started establishing our own tradition, which is the 4 of us. Now it's the 6 of us. And very soon it will be the 7 of us because we've got a grandbaby on the way.
Congratulations.
February. So we do it on whenever it works for all of us. Whatever that looks like. It may be the week before Christmas. It may be a week and a half before Christmas. It may be on a Sunday afternoon when all of the church, it just Tuesday evening, you never know when it's going to fall. But that consists of maybe real plates, maybe paper plates.
Mm-hmm.
Brian goes and gets Chinese takeout. And it is the most low key, probably favorite holiday event that our entire family has. And I don't try to, we eat out of those Chinese takeout boxes.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
We have the most fun because there is no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Really. And you know what? As weird as that may sound, now I set a table on Christmas Day and I mean, we're Texans, we have dressing. We don't have stuffing. Dressing.
Thank the Lord.
Dressing goes a long way. So I mean, I make the whole thing and we do
Yeah.
it nice, but honestly, some of the most fun we have is not Pinterest pretty by any stretch of the imagination.
Well,
So
and
it's
I think that's if we're going to talk about self-care, I think to give ourselves permission. I mean, who are we trying to impress? Ourselves to prove we're worthy of, or we're trying to get other people to think
yes,
worthy?
we are.
Girl, I tell you, I'm either too lazy or I'm just too past that point in life because I don't want to be so busy around the holidays that I don't enjoy them. I don't
True.
want to be so stressed and upset that my children can't come over and relax at my house. And I love what you said. It could be any day. I think sometimes, especially as uh, our children are adults, we have to give up some of our desire to have everything the way it used to be.
Yeah, it's true.
Like you're saying, oh, this could be any time. Well, what a relief that is to your adult children.
Yeah.
Like, okay, mom's not going to be hurt for 6 months if I don't show up on Christmas morning to unwrap my presents with her. And I think it relieves us of the pressure. It relieves them. It creates stronger bonds with our adult children. So yeah, the pressure's off. Wouldn't it be nice if, but it wasn't. So maybe next year. I love what you said about make notes. What didn't work in that year? I'm very much like that. And in fact, my husband will make fun of me because I write down like everything. Like, so after Thanksgiving, like, oh, well, obviously we don't need 40 pounds of mashed potatoes now. And I mean, like, and he's like, so next year we're only going to get 10 pounds of mashed potatoes. I'm like, exactly.
And we'll have leftovers.
That's what this paper is saying here. But I do. If something doesn't work, I'm not going to keep repeating it because we did it one time and it was wonderful. But 15 times later, it's not wonderful.
No, I'm the same. I have a note. Whoever gets my cookbook will know exactly how many recipes of each thing will feed how many people. And it's just a jotted down. It's on a sticky note. Another thing that I've done, this is so funny, but it works for me, is at the end of every Christmas season, I tell Siri to make a reminder. You need ribbon. You do not need wrapping paper.
Yes, yes.
do it at the end of October because, it's already
Mhm.
now in August. And, otherwise, I go and I buy all this wrapping paper and I don't have any ribbon, and then they're out of the one that I want, and it's silly things like that, but
Yeah, but it eliminates stress. So
it
we know right now this is the perfect time for everybody listening. Like, okay, maybe you didn't do it last year, but you can do it this holiday season. What causes you stress? Well, you got to be willing to give that up. Make notes. When you're packing things away at the end of the month, make notes of what you're going to need or not need, and some things I tend to like I'll take care of in July. I'll put in my July calendar, take care of X, Y, and Z. And I do that after Christmas. I'm like, okay, in July, because that's kind of a downtime for me. So I think that is one of the ways we maintain self-care. And it's important to remember. All
well,
right,
we take the
go ahead.
responsibility as women. Like, we feel the weight of holidays on us.
Mhm,
It's our job to make it perfect for everybody in the family. And here's the thing, everybody in the family is different, so
mhm.
perfection can look different, and so we're trying to just create something that's not a reality. Did you know it's okay to buy a dessert?
Yes, mind blowing, isn't it?
I know, or you you know, I remember you can buy pre-made dips or potato salad. I know it's not Mom's, and if you're hung up on Mom's, then by all means, make Mom's. But if you have grown children, they should be bringing side dishes.
Preach it. Yes. So shout out to my family. Uh, Thankfully, my sons love to cook they have their specialties they love to engage in. But yeah, when my family gathers together, I have nothing to prove. I've been cooking for them for years. And
Exactly.
so our gatherings are everybody brings something. The load is lighter and we're all having free time to have fun. And also, going back to something you mentioned, and we need to make sure we say this as well. When your children marry, you bring in-laws, that they're your children and they're part of the family mix. And we need to be aware that just because our family did it a certain way, their family did not. And what we just put so much value on may not have that same value. So be willing to have a little compromise. I think that's important for peace of mind and relational strength.
I told my girls too, I've made it very clear even when they were older teens, and then I talked to each one of them right before they got married. I said, and I've always encouraged this, there is another side of the family.
Mhm.
Gotta go, not got to, like they didn't want to. I'm just you
Yeah,
need to be, that's important that you go for the holidays. And I just asked them, I'm like, if you alternate, then I would like for you both to be on the same schedule.
right,
So,
right.
no. So, like, this year, it was we have them both for Thanksgiving, not for Christmas Day.
Mhm.
But when we do all get together, we'll all be together. It's not the back and forth.
Wonderful, which
But, I
is
mean, we
nice.
have to accept the fact that there has to be flexibility when the kids get married because, like, in our case, those boys have families, and those families matter. It's important.
Absolutely.
They're a part of the important things that go on. Now, that doesn't mean we just give up everything and we get the short end of the stick and it's like, well, that's, but- and also they want to start building their own little family traditions because I did that.
Mhm.
I wanted my own family. So,
And
bless
we
God.
can give them to our children, with grace and kindness, and that only strengthens relationships.
Yeah,
And we model well for them what they'll need to do as their children, are getting older and growing up.
got to be some flexibility. Even for the planners like us, there's got to be some flexibility.
It has to be, absolutely.
All else fails, go hide in your bedroom.
Put on your sweater, even if the air condition's full speed ahead. Put that sweater on, curl up in the recliner.
That's
All
right.
right. We're gonna look at spiritual self-care, and I think we probably, we are really pushing this recording. They might have to listen to it, like, in increments, but it's fun. Let's just keep going.
Probably been wrapping gifts and they need something to do.
They need it. That's what they're doing. They're listening while they're
Lord
being
and
present.
somebody.
Yeah. And learning from us what
That's right.
not to do. Right. Again, I'm gonna list the pieces that are included in a spiritual self-care, and then you pick one of them that you would like to just share. Spend time in nature, meditate, and that's as in biblical meditation, prayer, recognize the things that give meaning to life, act in accordance to morals and values, live out of your values, set aside time for thought and reflection, participate in a cause that is important, appreciate art that impacts you, music or literature. And that's the overall kind of pieces of spiritual self-care. This was obviously not written by an apostolic, but it's just, kind of an overall what stood out to you when I read that?
I would say top tier would be prayer 100%
Mhm.
because nothing changes my thinking, my path, my just something about casting all my care on him that
Mhm.
just and leaving it there, not picking it up when I walk back out. But I would say second would be nature because you're in Jersey, I'm in Chicago, and the winter doesn't merit that. But in times, in seasons, but I think that actually makes me appreciate being outside more.
Mhm.
And people always say, wow, you're so tan. And it's very early on. Well, early on for Chicago. It's not early on for Texas, but I'm not just tanning. It's just as soon as it's warm, I'm outside. And there's something when I say healing, I don't mean it in I don't know,
Well, it's not a new agey
yeah.
term, like this is biblical.
Yes, exactly. It just does something to me to be out in the sun and to, um, take that walk, I love water and sun.
Yeah.
I just
Something very relaxing about it, kind of hitting that reconnect. When my aunt was passing away, I was by her bed and I was like, what is something, what is the one thing I want to take from this time with you? And she said, well, if I could go back, she said, I would walk barefoot through the grass and let the wind blow through my hair more often than I did. And that just struck me so much. And I think that's when I think about spend time in nature, I recognize the power of God. I feel connected to his creation. He created all of this, and I can just look at a tree or the leaves or a bird, and I'm like, God, you're amazing. It creates a sense of worship in me.
yeah,
So I do think being out in nature does bring full force to my mind the creativity of God and the power of God and
yeah.
the power of his spoken word. Okay, one last thing, and then we're really gonna have to stop or they're gonna miss Christmas Day with their family. Um, this is work and ministry care or professional self-care. So, here, I'm gonna give you the list. Do you say no to excessive new responsibilities? Do you take on projects that are interesting or rewarding? Are you learning new things related to your profession? Are you making time to build relationships with colleagues? Do you take breaks during the workday? Are you able to maintain balance between your work life and your personal life? Do you have a comfortable workspace that allows you to be successful?
Okay, so I am gonna say because that probably dominates most of my life
Mhm.
because when you are in ministry, you're never not in ministry. I mean,
Mhm.
we
Right.
don't work out. So I'm speaking from that vantage point. I'm going to go the reverse of saying what highlighting one. The one I'm going to highlight is the one I struggle with the most, and that would be that the balance one of taking how was it worded? Balance of work and
Maintain balance between your work and personal life?
those that would be the one that I probably struggle with the most. The rest of them I actually feel like I'm healthy in. I don't know if excel is the great word, but I am healthy there because that is my passion. That is true. Everything you listed, I love all of that. Those
Mhm.
aspects. I mean, even getting to know people and loving on people and building the kingdom, working in the kingdom and building through projects at church and with ladies and with people in the church, that kind of thing.
So
But
that energizes you.
oh, 100%.
Mhm.
You know me all too well. You're reading me like a book right now. But the one that I struggle with would be the balance, which I feel like balance is also kind of it's not 50-50. Balance is not a 50-50 thing. It's what is right for the time or the season that we're in.
Yeah, and in the moment, you know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be perfectly balanced. I think sometimes, we use that term, "Oh, balance," and we think, like you said, 50-50. But, maybe on one day, something might family life needs 75 and my work life only needs 25, and that creates a perfect balance.
Exactly.
But then maybe the next week, I'm gonna have to give a little bit more on the other side. So, just because we're out of balance doesn't mean life is out of control. I think that's really important to remember that.
Good. I think that's probably where I struggle because I'm a planner, and to me, planning and lists make for balance.
Mhm.
And then when that gets it's more of an internal struggle. It's just the way I'm wired, but learning to, combat that and understanding what you just said. I love that. I need that. Just because life is out of balance doesn't mean it's
I mean, it's out of control.
I now I'm fine. I'm a 3 and all now.
You're free. It's good. All right. So our 5 domains: physical, psychological, emotional, social, spiritual, and work ministry. Um, I don't know. Pick one. Which one would you say we need to? We're looking at the new year. Which one do we need to say? I'm going to work a little bit more on that one. Because you know what? Here's the thing. We don't want to move it like, okay, I have a 1, so I need a 3. That's unrealistic. It would be like, I have a 1, so I need to my goal for 2026 would be bump it to a 1.5. So if get enough sleep is something I wanna work on, then I'm not trying to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, and stay in bed till 8 in the morning. I'm gonna do one mindful thing, intentional act to improve that a little bit.
Read them back one more time. I'm sorry.
For the physical, psychological, emotional, social, which is your friends and family, spiritual, and your work and ministry. Those are the domains. So, what are you thinking? We've talked a lot. It's almost Christmas morning.
I know. I am still trying to make resolutions.
I made mine. No resolutions.
Right. I ooh, I I think I would naturally go towards the spiritual, not
Mhm,
necessarily because the spiritual's lacking or where it should be, but because I always feel like there's growth in that area.
mhm.
There's always another level of commitment, another place to expand. I feel like working on my health is a constant thing for me. So that's an all the time. I renew that probably every Monday. Um, so social, I feel like I've got down at least at a healthy place. So, I mean, I would say if I was going to focus on anything, it would be the spiritual
Mhm.
growth, learning. I mean, just there's always so much more to learn and so much more to understand and so much growth in that area. I mean,
And
that's
I think too, when I focus on the spiritual, it feels like I'm living from the inside out,
yeah.
and that the Lord helps us when we're putting him first to kind of bring those other pieces into, order.
Yeah, I've kinda said balance. We were just talking about balance. I've said before, balance in the kingdom is not 50-50, but
Mhm.
balance in the kingdom is putting him first, seeking first the kingdom, and letting everything else flow out of that is what brings balance
Believe
to
that.
so, I feel like that would probably be if I had to just isolate one, um, that'd probably be my one.
Well, thank you so much for being with me. It has been so much fun, and our goal for this December episode is to assure all of our listeners that, yeah, we need to take care of ourselves. Nobody can do self-care for you but you.
That's right.
And if you want to reduce anxiety and you want to really focus on enjoying the season, then you're going to have to do something in each of these domains to make sure that you're going in the right direction. Thank you, Ginger, so much for being with me. Any last words you want to say?
No, have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for having me. This has been so fun.
It's always good to spend time with you, and for those of you who are still with us after the whole month of December, you
We
just
hope your last gift is wrapped after the hour of time that we've spent.
we hope you've got all your work done, but we're excited about our upcoming January episode. We're starting our legacy series, and Sister Thetis Tenney is going to be our guest in January. So you will want to learn from her. She's got so much to offer. But thank you all. Make sure that you share this episode with your friends, your family, your neighbor, your coworker, somebody you don't even know. Just get it out there because we want the whole world to know about how great Jesus is, and we want him to use you in doing that. Thank you. God bless.